who saw the Boomer Foster thing this morning? Holly saw it. That was good, right? Yeah, it was very good.
It's a good reminder of just like anything, right? The basics, always just keep doing the basics,
And
like practice.
It was great. I mean, it was a conversation about going back to the basics, but it really was just a reminder that you get out of this business what you put into it. And so I thought it was a prospecting clinic. So yeah, I mean, he went through the whole spiel there in about 20 minutes. I thought it was really, really fun to listen to him. So very cool. So I've got a couple things I want to share with you guys. Dawn Kay is not going to be with us today. She's doing food pantry stuff for Community Service Day. And then John is traveling to California. He's on his way to a wedding, so he's not going to be with us today either. So it'll be short today. We do think that Brian McCarty is on his way here, but he just phoned in that he's stuck in traffic. So we don't know at what time he may or may not arrive. And since he's got all the paydays, it could be a very sad event. Cool. All right, so let me put this thing on silent and share with you guys what I wanted to share with you. So if you didn't see this email that came out the other day, then I want you to go back and find it. It was the News You Can Use email, which came out June 6th, so just 2 days ago. And why I thought it was cool, because sometimes we watch these, sometimes we don't watch these, but what you may not have noticed if you didn't look at it is the updated digital PowerPoint presentations that you can find both for buyers and sellers now. And they've been uploaded to the cafe and therefore are in Moxie. So present. And so my thought for today was to at least review the new slides, because I think they look really, really good. So has anybody else been in here to check them out yet? Anybody? No? Yeah. So cool. It's a relevant topic. So the new PowerPoint Moxie presentation slides are right here. You've got the seller presentation, you've got a standard, and then you've got a luxury version as well. And the buyer, same thing. You've got a standard and you've got a luxury version. And of course, you know that you can print these as PDFs, and then you can digitally customize them if that's what you wanted to do for your Moxie presentation. But let's just take a look at some of these slides together. I thought they were pretty darn good. So all new obvious images. The Christie's has been removed. So that's a thing, right? So we're going to start to see the Forbes content start to show up in more and more places. But these are the new slides that they've put together. 54 years of expertise. And so there's not, obviously you can take from this what you like and leave what you don't like. But I like the new look of it. It's clean, it's sophisticated, it's professional, and it's not nearly as wordy, I think, as some of the older slides were. They had more words. These seem to be a little more bullet point in fact, with shorter descriptions. So I like the design. Founded in 1968. Thought that was pretty cool how they've designed these new slides, and then I like this too because it says enough about us. Let's talk about you, right? And they do that right at the front of the presentation, because if you remember, the previous Moxie presentation slides were a lot to do about the company. Probably too much to do with the company.
And when did they change that?
I just found it 2 days ago in this email.
Because I'm doing a Moxie presentation now, and the first like 20-something pages is about the company.
Right, exactly. So, obviously, more is better than less probably, and we can pick from those slides which ones we want, which ones we don't. But historically, I've often felt like it was much to do about the company and not enough to do with you know, the person we're talking to, and ourselves. You know, sometimes we want to talk about me, talk about Ma, talk about number one. Oh, Toby Keith, sorry.
Yeah, I was looking, because I was thinking that'd be great to put in this presentation.
Yes.
But I didn't see it when I was just going through it, so.
You'll have to go and find the newest slides in Moxie. Maybe find this email from January 6th, just 2 days ago. And find out, or June. Yeah, what was it? January, June. So June. And then let the journey begin. You know, from initial consultation to your new home awaits. So they too have redesigned the map or the progression map of the process. And if you remember my TGIF the other day, Breakthrough Broker recently redesigned their progression map as well. So it's ironic. But you could literally lay this down and talk through the bullet point or the process of buying a home. So kind of cool. I like the look. I like the design. I like the feel. I like that it seems to be a little more succinct and organized. And we're basically now walking them through the process of what it might look like and some things to prepare for. So prepare and present your purchase offer, negotiate and discuss counter offers, track all contingencies, schedule home inspections and closing settlement, coordinate homeowners insurance, title and legal documents, attend and assure a smooth closing. So these are the things that we do sometimes behind the scenes that, you know, our clients don't necessarily see. And so you can see here, maybe you can see, the whole thing is only 16 slides instead of, you know, 45. So that's better, right? That's way better.
Now, did they come out with new slides for the sellers as well?
They did, yes. Okay. Yeah. In it for the long haul, delivering the Long and Foster advantage since 1968. Now, follow the numbers. And of course, every company is going to have their own version of this, and that is to be expected. But they have some data here that they've selected, which allows them to use a graph that shows Long and Foster above some of the competitors, some of the leading competitors in our market areas. Compass, Berkshire Hathaway, Franchise, Samson Properties, Coldwell Banker. So usually Long and Foster data comes from Bright MLS. And it does in this case as well. Bright MLS is the one they use in Northern Virginia. It's also one that they use in several states. It's probably one of the largest MLSs in the country. And it is probably the predominant MLS in the Long and Foster footprint of 7 states plus DC. So that's generally where they get their statistics from. Backed by Berkshire Hathaway. And of course, this is interesting. I've always thought this was a really, really powerful value proposition for Long and Foster. Is the customer satisfaction rating. It hovers between 97 and 98%. I think last year it was 98%. This year it looks like it's 97% again. Which, when you think about the amount of business they do, that's really, really good. I mean, you're talking about $30 billion in sales, 70,000 transactions. And to have a client satisfaction rating of 97 or 98%, it's really, 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 really good. I don't think we can brag about that too much. And, our promise to you. And that's it. So that would be the end then of the buyer side presentation. And of course, you're going to put in maybe a slide or something to talk about you. And who you are, what's your experience, how long have you been in the business, maybe a couple of testimonials that you've had, something like that, why you got into real estate, why someone would consider working with you. Those are the kind of things that I think we need to present when we sit down with the buyer for the first time. This is a really, 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 I think, good. Go with it. It's also something that you could email to someone as a pre-buyer consultation. you know how we have like a pre-listing consultation or a pre-listing package that you could send to someone in preparation for meeting? You could do that with this for your buyer. So in preparation for meeting Wednesday at 3 o'clock, I just want to send you some information. And so they have this, it includes the about me slides, you know, a little bit more about you. And that way they've got some knowledge at hand when they come in and sit down for that buyer consultation. And that's when we could probably break out the material that we saw Dale Mattson share with us a week or two ago. Because that was probably the best buyer consultation I've ever seen in terms of the content that he goes through. Really, really, really good. And then, so that was that the seller? Let's see if there's a difference. Right, for the love of home. So times have changed, haven't they though? 54 years of service, built on values. You might expect that both of these would be similar in terms of the content they share. It's all about providing the value. The big difference is the process or the side of the transaction that the consumer finds themselves on. You know, for every first-time buyer, which is where most people start as a first-time buyer, they eventually become a first-time seller, right? And so they don't know, they've never sold a home before. They don't know what that process might look like. And so hopefully with a presentation like this, we can show them that we're familiar. So this happens to be the buyer side, property brochure, well, maybe it doesn't. There's no one size fits all when it comes to marketing your home. So it's the seller side. Our strategy is backed by an array of tools, methods to ensure we reach the right people at the right time of their buying journey. Social media, property e-blasts, property postcards, property brochures, online advertising, postcards. 1.4 million average monthly users sessions on our website, 2.6 million average page views per month on the Long & Foster website. That's a lot. Site. So as you know, every listing gets its own professional, custom, single property website offered by Long & Foster, which is kind of cool. So it definitely has a new, I think, more modern appeal. Yeah, I think it's probably easier to get through than maybe some of the earlier stuff that we've seen. So I think it's a good idea for everybody to have their own, you know, version of this. And again, you can pick and choose the slides that you want to include and leave out the ones you don't want to include. You should definitely have a couple of slides about you and what's cool about you and why somebody should consider working with you. But in a nutshell, that's it, you know. And I can't wait to maybe get on Boomer's next meeting, because they said something to the effect that, you know, while his listing presentation was never pretty, it was effective.
This is Northern Virginia.
So I'd love to see what that actually looked like. I think that would be really
It's a
interesting.
huge
because
MLS.
I feel the same way. You know, mine was never real pretty, because although I have a great Moxie Present PowerPoint, hardly ever used it in real life. I had it and I could use it, but I hardly ever used it. It was more about the rapport and the relationship that I was able to create or manifest when I sat down with them at the appointment. That's really what it boiled down to. So yeah, we've seen some of this stuff before. And the other one. Start the journey. And that's it. So that's the two versions there, the buyer version and the seller version. Those are the standard. Luxury might be, I don't know, I didn't even look at the luxury. So let's just take a quick look at that and see if luxury, LPI and Forbes. Let's see. So let's see, Long and Foster real estate. Luxury has changed and so have we. Da, 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 da. So depending on the person you're trying to appeal to, here's a different way to present yourself and your services. You know, in our region, historically, luxury has been considered a property over $750,000. I think they're sticking with that. I haven't heard anything different. So $750,000 has been kind of our threshold for whether or not we considered something luxury. Obviously, there's going to be some variables to that.
Eventually they'll get to that, but right now it's strictly $1 million. Every marketing thing that I've watched, that's what she said.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Did you also hear them say that they don't want us switching up between red signs and blue name riders?
Yeah. 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 Which, you know, and again, I think it comes down to personal preference. Personally, you know, I like the blue riders better. That's me. You know, so I think, you know, we're entitled to have our opinions.
Boomer says he doesn't like it.
Right. Right.
And his, what was it, his news you can use?
Yeah. Yeah. He talks about Forbes. And again, this is the luxury presentation where they bring in Forbes because it's a Forbes luxury portfolio. Kind of makes sense. So lots of ammunition, I think. Lots of cool stuff to help us present our value proposition. A lot of same content, just a different way of looking at it. Cool. But at least you guys now know where to find this. Go back to this email from June 6th, just a couple of days ago. I'm sure you could go into the cafe and just search, you know, presentation or something like that. Or you should be able to find it in Moxie as well. It says, what does it say? If you have any questions, no. As far as transition away from Christie's to Forbes and Luxury Portfolio International, there are updated digital and print versions of both the standard and luxury listing and buyer presentation. Great webinar, stickers for Instagram. And then there's a luxury portfolio webinar coming up on June 14th at 2:30, which I think we'll have here on the big screen as well. Next week. That's it. Any questions about that? No? Kind of cool. Good to know though. Good stuff, good content. Yeah, like it? I like it.
Yeah.
How's traffic, Brian?
It's a rough.
Rough ride?
Made it. We're here.
All right, my friend. If you're ready, we're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm
Yeah.
ready.
Cool, cool. Let's do
So
it.
we brought in some stuff to donate here. I don't know if we've sorted or what we did.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll
Thank you.
get it.
Stacy will handle it.
Spent 50 cents. I know that's what we did at the food
Crazy
bank.
organizer will get to it.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's a great day. Hey, so we're having a door prize, $25 Starbucks star.
Nice.
So I don't know if we can do the wheel or.
Nice.
The wheel of fortune.
The
So Mike,
wheel of fortune.
this is crazy. So Mike, you're gonna donate, you're gonna match all this?
Yeah,
Oh, actually, Mike brought it at least. half
Oh,
of it.
okay, I got you.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that was very generous of you.
Yeah, Mike is insanely
That was very
generous. Yeah.
Of you.
Yeah.
So we're having that. That's great. Feels good to give back to the community. Yeah, I've heard agents tell me that they actually got a listing because they said they did community service over the other agents. So,
And you know that I think that's one of the side benefits that sometimes gets overlooked. You know,
Yeah.
well, we do have the benefit of giving back to the community and the people who need our help, which feels great. It also gives us an opportunity to reach out to our sphere and our circle of influence and let them know what we're doing, and remind them that we do provide value to the community that we live and work in.
great. Next week, we are having a class on FERPTA, closing the foreign seller. It's a 2-hour class. It's for PLE and CE. So I know some of them are just for CE, but this is for PLE and CE, free, totally free. You just click on the button. I know, Jason, you always send that out on Friday.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Since our last meeting, we had a couple closings since the meeting on the 25th. I have Sharon. You had a closing. I believe it was here the day of the meeting.
That's right. Yeah.
And Josh, we had one, Kelly Foster, and Betty Daniel Moses is the ones
Yes.
I've written down. So that's very good. And the ones that supported us in March, I want to say a shout out again to Betty, Darlene's here, Evelyn's here, Marvella, Josh, Jason. Let's see, Kelly Foster, Adrian Smith, Michael Gray. So they're good participation. So thank you. That
Yeah.
was a lot. I haven't seen the numbers for May. Have you?
No, I haven't.
I haven't seen them
I
yet, but
But it sounds good.
Sounds really good.
It does sound good.
So it
No,
sounds good.
that's a
So,
lot of
yeah,
contracts.
that is. So thank you all. That means a lot. And I know we're only as good as our last closing or funding, so I get that. So, but thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Next week, we're hoping, or next meeting, we're hoping to have a demo, a live demo if possible on our exchange.
Mhm.
Take about 10-15 minutes. Just a lady from Integrated Services will walk you through it. It's something we use on every order now, has to go through the exchange. They're going to roll it out to Tina and her management team, I believe Friday,
Mhm.
so she can see it. But it's just going to help you all and help communication. That's all I got to say.
I can tell you it
That's cool.
works.
Oh, it works?
I've gotten 2 emails that, well, actually 3 now, that I didn't understand
Okay.
what they were. So if you see something that says Sage Title Exchange, don't think it's spam and delete it.
Okay, so it works.
And I
Good.
can talk to Debbie
Okay,
about
good.
it. But activate your account. It's separate from the login you use for, what was that thing you?
Oh, the calculator, the seller net sheets and
It's
buyer
a
closing
different
cost
login
estimator.
for that, so just be aware.
Mhm.
It's not spam.
Yeah.
So
I
we're-
thought it was spam.
We'll learn more
Yeah,
about it.
you'll
I guess,
learn more
next week.
about it. So it's still new, but every order has to go through the exchange with us, so they won't let us open an order, so. So that's something new and improved. Last, let's see, what else did I have? Oh, we are hiring an intern, if you know of anybody.
Okay.
It's a summer, it's starting a summer position. It's on the Long and Foster website or the job board. But we're looking for somebody that might want to come on and learn the business and then hopefully stay. Because as you all getting busy, everybody else. So, and there's not a lot of young people in title either. It's mainly elderly like myself.
Is it a
So
paid internship?
It is.
Okay.
It is. It's a paid internship, but I don't want to take away from any of the agent's productivity here though, too. So, you know what I mean? It's
Of
like,
course.
he
Of
was selling
course.
7 houses and now he wanted to work for you. So that's hard, you know?
Yeah.
So, but if you know of anybody, it is available. We hope to get somebody soon,
Okay,
you know?
good.
And so I just appreciate everybody's work and support,
Awesome.
you know?
Yeah.
So, good group here. We always like coming out here for closings. So keep coming. Any questions, comments? Go ahead.
Yeah, somebody has a question. Do they
Yeah.
send you the information or give your information to them?
They should go on the website for the job opportunities and apply that way.
On the Long and Foster Career website?
Yeah, it should be listed there. Because that way everybody has a record of who applied and then they say, you know, it's just everybody likes paperwork. You know, a paper trail.
That's right.
But
That's right.
again, I don't want to take away, if somebody's selling real estate,
Of
then it's gonna
course.
put me in a bad position
No.
too. But if you
Yeah.
know of anybody, you know. It's good-
We'll do it.
good Stuff. So thank you all. Appreciate your support.
Absolutely. Hey, Stacia, do you have that wheel?
The wheel, yes.
The wheel.
The wheel for the $25 gift card at Starbucks.
Question is, do I have everybody?
I don't know.
It's only the people that are here can win.
Here to win.
Oh, so you want me to take off the Zoom people?
Yes, yes, you have to be present to win.
Yeah,
That's the
they're-
rule that we came up with last week.
Yeah, it's good to come in the office, it really is. You know, it's nice to see more faces here today.
And besides, it gives me a much better chance of winning. All right, I can't win. Let her roll. Let's see who's gonna get this bad boy. Dudley.
That's me.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Dudley.
Congrats,
Woohoo!
congrats.
That's what you get for being here.
Yeah.
Yoo-hoo!
All right, before we close out today's meeting, thank you guys again for being here. I do want to say a very, very, very fond farewell to Eden, who I think this is probably going to be the last time that we see her. Her family is moving to Colorado.
Mhm.
So it has been an absolute pleasure getting to know you and working with you. And you're a dream agent, and I have had a blast getting to know you. And so thank you for spending the time with us. Thank you. I hope you hate Colorado and you come back soon. So, all right, gang, that's gonna do it. Unless anybody has anything else, we'll go ahead and wrap up for today. But do go and check out those new slides for Moxie.
I'm coming in with all my stuff.
All
I'll
right,
see
come
you.
on.
I'll see you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.